All right, so now hopefully you got your class built, you got your attributes put in, you got your methods put in, and everything else. The last little cleanup we want to talk about is around what your application should actually be doing. Hopefully you pick something that kind of lines up with what you've done before. If you're doing something different, that's fine too. Um, this is not a case where spending the least amount of time to get the homework done is necessarily going to be advantageous for you in the long run. Spending a little bit more time, not hours and hours and 20, 34 hours a week on this stuff. That's not what I'm saying. But just spending a little bit of time, an extra half an hour, an extra hour playing is okay. Especially if you're doing something similar to what you've done before, but a little bit more, a little bit different, because that's going to give you some reinforcement, some remembering of what you did before. Get habits. I can't tell you how many things I've spent hours debugging, and then 2 years later, I know, hey, I've done fixed this before, but I only fixed it that one time, and I don't remember how to do it. As opposed to things, when I'm teaching a class that I run across every term, a student makes this mistake, and then I can tell you exactly what causes it and see it, and so there's something to be said about repetition. It is valuable, particularly in things like this that are very procedural and very practicey. So I can clean this up just a bit, just to show you what I would do to clean this up. Again, I've taken out 2 and 3 inside of here, and view a product. I'm going to change that a little bit. So I'm just start to make this make a little bit sense. Again, employee name doesn't mean anything in here. I'm going to get rid of that. Just say please select an action for the list below. I'm going to say that's my menu. I can view a product, or I can exit. Name, and then we can just say price, and then just put a $ in front of it, because that'll format it a little bit better. So we put the price inside of there instead, and then I come down here. I can start to change things like I don't need to be employee 1. I can say product. So product P, or product, or a banana. I like banana here because it's very specific. I'm creating a banana right here. I'm not creating a random thing, so I can just say banana here, and I say. So yeah, I'm gonna just take this line out altogether because it doesn't mean anything. Again, what I'm doing specifically is tweaking for my application. You'll be tweaking for your application. It doesn't have to look exactly like this, but when my application runs, I get the selection. I'm going to create a banana, call it banana. I'm going to say show the menu for banana here. Notice I'm passing this by reference now. I'm not, so I'm passing the pointer to this banana. Um, so again, I'm passing the banana here. So I'm not saying so my address. So the product of the day is. So I'm just making my product of the day, and I can say view address. I don't like that name. I can come back and fix this, but say thank you, invalid protection. So most of the application stays the same. I'm tweaking little things inside of here. Just make sure the text means something. And I feel it's really important to have your variables mean something. Some of you have used perhaps A, B, C, D, X, Y, Z as variable names. Those don't necessarily mean anything. Like, what is A versus B? What do they mean? In my case, I can definitely say from banana that I'm representing a product called banana. I know what I'm working with here. And when I say view address, I can now change this to say view product. It's important so I know what's going on. What is the value? What is this abstraction doing? I'm not viewing an address. I'm viewing a product. So I just changed that text right here. Now notice I'm copying and pasting, so I know it's completely right. If I spell it wrong, view products, it's going to fail because it can't find a method called view products because it has to be very perfect. Now you and I know what if view products, whatever, it's the same. Code doesn't know that. Code has to be perfect and exact. So again, I'm going to do a quick build to make sure I don't see any red marks inside of my code. But the best way to tell is to do a quick build. And I have 1 succeeded, 0 failed. That's good. I can run my code again. Now it says view a product. Great. 1. And there's my banana. And it's showing up as that, the product of the day. And now it makes a little bit more sense. So my application's ridiculously simplified. I'm not trying to show you a really complicated application. I'm trying to show you the essence of what's going on here. That's where I'm going to challenge you is if you get this done and it's working and it took you 6 hours to do it, turn it in. Do something. It's okay. Something simple that you struggled for and worked for, turn it in. If you did something simple and took you 20 minutes, spend another 40 minutes. I mean, just play with a couple other things, add a few things inside of there, stretch yourself. If you're not angry at the computer for some reason, you probably haven't learned anything during this session yet. I don't want you to be punching monitors or any of those stereotypical hyperbolic sort of things that you've seen the videos for. But where you're really going to get better, where you're really going to learn something is when you're stretching yourself a little bit. So that's what I want you to do within this. Now, this is a way of just taking the code that was given to you and tweaking it towards the assignment. And this is the bare bones of understanding a little bit of code. I do want to show you building it a little bit more traditionally through the tool. Not something you have to do, but that's what the next videos are going to be. So finish up this application, get it working, and then you can play with it a little bit more from there.